Well, hello. We're on our way home. Didn't get a chance to charge the battery up on the camera, so I'm not sure how long it's going to last before it gives out. Well, we will see. It's not known for its longevity, the battery life on the camera. Interestingly, it lasts much longer on the radio and the intercom. So it turns the camera off when the battery gets low for the camera, but then it lasts a lot longer. I seem to get about 75% before it turns. So once it gets to 75%, it turns the camera off approximately, but then it still gives you quite a long time with the intercom and the radio and the Bluetooth and so on. So, it's a bit slippy on this roundabout. There's a bit of mud just on the top with the water. This rain, which is just starting to come in, well, it's drizzle at the moment, but it has been raining, is the beginning of the next storm that we're expecting to see in full force tomorrow. It's go on 34, you can do. What are you doing? I should have gone up the middle there, as they say, but unfortunately, being a man, multitasking is sometimes not my forte, and so riding a motorcycle and talking to you, I sometimes have to take the safe course and not do the lane splitting and filtering that I normally would. So convoy exceptionnel is behind us. So, I don't know about in the UK, because even though I've been driving in the UK, I haven't seen it for some time. In France, virtually anything that's even slightly large gets an escort convoy exceptionnel. It's probably just a digger or something like that that's on the lorry. I mean, I could well be wrong, but they do this just for, even for what would be considered sort of ordinary. Remember that we're back in the speed camera zone. I think there'll only be one, which will be on the other side. So here it'll be facing the front, but I'm not going to take a risk, because as I say, this is the maximum fine. They don't give you the option. There isn't the option of a minimum. So yeah. And I think the next question is, how do I know that they don't give you the option? Well. Don't ask me how I know. I think that's probably the best answer to that. Yes, definitely the best answer. I'm not sure how well this dead cat is working. I'll be very interested to find out. I did record some video using the dead cat, but I haven't had time to edit it yet, so I haven't listened to it. Hopefully I'll be able to edit it this evening, and I'll see how well the dead cat works. It does keep coming off, and I did say in a previous video that I will be gluing it down and giving it a haircut at some point, but I won't do that until I've listened to it and checked out the quality and see if the quality is better than the ordinary foam microphone cover. I don't know. I might even try running the foam one underneath the dead cat at some point and seeing how that works. We will see. First things first, check the dead cat. Yes. The bike is going to be horribly filthy. Not just a bit filthy. I suppose I could have overtaken this cement lorry earlier. But, as I said, multitasking when I'm talking on the camera and riding, then I have to ride more safely and take fewer risks because I'm not concentrating enough. And it's one of the major causes of accidents on all vehicles, in all vehicles or on all vehicles, is your level of distraction. That's a good one. Cars, until about the 1970s, didn't used to have radios as standard and things like that. They didn't come with radios as standard, and we didn't have phones in the cars, and we didn't have GPS. We were lucky sometimes even to get a rev counter and a water temperature gauge. Quite often we just had speedo, a few warning lights and a fuel gauge, and that was it in those cars. And today we've now got completely connected vehicles, and so the level of distraction inside the car is pretty enormous, and I do mean pretty enormous. Should I, for example, change the track that I'm listening to? Is the GPS sending me down the right road? Do I need to get it to recalibrate? I mean, if you use Waze, for example, it'll keep beeping at you saying, is this broken down vehicle still on the side of the road? Are the police still checking here? And this, that, and the other. So there's a myriad of distractions, really. And the question is, should these distractions be removed from the driver? I don't necessarily mean the passenger or anything like that, but from the driver, to make driving more safe. Now, a lot of people will say, well, yes, we're going to get self-driving cars, and what about Teslas and things like this? Well, if you actually speak to Tesla, they'll say their vehicles are not self-driving. Okay? They've got driver aids to help you drive, but they are not self-driving. So, woo, that was a nice bump. Woo, and we'll get some more here. Woo, it's a bit like a roller coaster. Yes, so I'll let Charlie behind go through. He seems to think the speed limit here is more than it's supposed to be. Ah, yes, I see the reason why. Number 21, Department 21. So out of Ile-de-France car. And followed by at least one Ile-de-France car, and two Ile-de-France cars. So, yeah. It's actually interesting how much effect raising the windshield has on the stability of this bike. I'm not at the top level. I'm doing 70 miles an hour, 110 approximately. It is a little bit windy because we are expecting this storm to arrive soon. And I'm running Michelin PR5s, which are stable in the wet. But the front end is being buffeted quite a bit by the wind. I don't know if the camera is picking that up. I'm not actually holding very tightly to the handlebars. It's not something I do. As you can see, my hand is just resting on the top here, and my right hand is only exerting enough pressure to actually keep the throttle set, and that's it. So it's not gripping the bar, it's actually quite loose on that. So, but it still seems to be wobbling about a bit. So we'll have to say I do normally ride with the screen in its lowest position. That's how I normally ride. But the weather is looking decidedly horrid, and due to the aerodynamics of the front of this motorcycle, if the screen is in its lowest position, then the water comes up between the screen and the top of the dashboard, and you get absolutely covered, completely covered. But when it's in a higher position like this, you get very little water coming up between it. I imagine that if you go up to the top position, it's probably even less for some reason. So obviously the designers at Honda thought that when it was raining you'd lift the screen up, and when it wasn't raining you'd push it down. Whereas to me, if I'm wearing waterproofs, then it could remain at the bottom in its lowest position virtually all the time, unless it's absolutely bitterly cold. Today I am wearing waterproofs, but the waterproof trousers that I'm wearing, I noticed, have started to leak a little, and so I'm going to have to invest in a new set, and that's the reason why the screen is up where it is. It's to stop as much water as possible coming through.